Okay, so I decided I'm just going to kind of wing this. Was going to write something down, and then I just realized it's probably better I just go for it, you know? My name is Ryan. I'm an actor. I want to be honest with everybody. I'm a screenwriter. I'm from Los Angeles, and I moved out to New Mexico at the beginning of this year, 2016. At the very end of last year, I noticed significant male pattern baldness. I had just moved out of my apartment with my girlfriend. We were having a very stressful relationship. I was in the process of organizing a stage reading for a number of actors, my own screenplay. I was moving out here with no money. I'm currently on EBT, food stamps from Uncle Stan, and otherwise I wouldn't be eating. So you could say I was definitely under a period of high stress. Whether that contributed to the hair loss, how can I say for sure? I don't know. Some people say it's hereditary. That's probably what I would go with. My biological father has a full head of hair. I don't know him very well, but I've seen photos, and it seems like it's all white, but it seems pretty full. And that's sort of what I was thinking I was going to get. In fact, my stepfather, who I consider my real father, just in November, over Thanksgiving, we were together, and coincidentally, maybe he jinxed me. He told me, and he's completely bald, he told me that I made it into my 30s. I'm currently 33 years old as of April, and I made it into my 30s without losing any hair, thus I will probably not lose any hair, he told me. Not even a month later, I had one suspicious moment where I noticed that there was something weird about my left temple. I put it in the back of my head. I didn't think it was anything worth any thought whatsoever. And it was just before New Year's last year, in 2015, when I realized after a shower and under a direct light how bad it had become. Maybe I hadn't noticed, but I've been since cycling through old photos, and it really seems like it just happened all of a sudden. That's what I've figured out. And so I've been, I'm sure everyone is familiar with DHT. When I started to research everything, I found out about saw palmetto. Finest Nutrition offers it in the 450 milligram capsule. In another YouTube video, I saw that it was recommended you take 1,500 milligrams per day. So I've been taking 3 for 2 days, and then on the third day, 4. I'm also taking a Nature Made Hair, Skin, and Nails biotin. This is the cheapest one here. I get it for $10 at Trader Joe's. Nature Made Super B Complex, 1 a day. Ashwagandha, 1 a day. This is from Whole Foods. It's expensive. Rhodiola, I think this is the most expensive thing in here. And I'm taking 1 of those a day. So I've been doing this since I found out for sure there was a problem at the very, very, very end of December. I think it was maybe December 30th when I realized there was a problem. And I'm going to throw some photos up of when it happened, or when I noticed it happened. My girlfriend took this one. Yeah, so over the course of this year, I had thought I had made gains. Could have been, I was hoping it was all in my head. Where I am in New Mexico now, the sun is much more intense. We're higher up. It's 4,500 feet elevation, and so I find in mirrors when I'm outside that the sunlight just pierces through my head, and my scalp becomes revealed, something that's never happened to me before. So I would say conservatively, I've lost about 20% of volume, maybe more. And it's terrifying, especially for someone like myself who is an actor, and my career kind of relies on my self-confidence, and I didn't realize how closely linked my hair was to my self-confidence, and my esteem has gone so low that I've been considering suicide. And I'm sure many can relate to that. I have difficulty, even having sex with my girlfriend, and I'm not. Anyway, yeah. So it affects you through to your core. I don't want to go outside anymore. I don't even want to be underneath a halogen light because you can see through my head, which every time I've gone into a hair salon in my entire life, when I'm meeting a new hairstylist, they always have told me how thick my hair is for a guy. And I'm not hearing that anymore. Surprise, surprise. In fact, I think a hair just fell into my eye right now. It's breaking off. I'm finding that if I just touch it, it falls. It literally is so brittle that it breaks. And when I wash in the shower, I think I will find between 50 and 70 hairs over the course of my shower. They come out while I'm shampooing. They really come out when I'm conditioning and as I wash out the conditioner. And I never use conditioners. It's really my fault, I think. I would say less than the genetics, less than the stress. My whole life I have used the worst of the worst hair products. I didn't realize how important it was, and I'm sure now it's too late. I've been using Pantene Pro V. I took a photo when I was at Costco earlier, and you got to look at this photo here. It's unbelievable, some of the ingredients that go into these chemical products. Where is it here? I mean, the first one is water, but then what? I can't even read these things. Sodium lauryl sulfate. There's citric acids and sodium chloride. I mean, no wonder your scalp is being loaded with chemicals. So of course, you're basically washing out all the good stuff. I didn't realize it. It's the cheapest one, so I bought it. I'm fucking poor, I can't afford anything. Right now I'm on EBT, as I said. So I certainly can't afford, herbal... I certainly can't afford those things, but I've been paying for them. And so I've just been, eating less. And... And so now I'm going to be starting a program my parents are helping me with. It's REGENIX. McConaughey made it famous in the early 2000s by talking about it on David Letterman.
You look different to me. I don't want to embarrass you, but there's something different about your hair. Am I right about this, or am I nuts?
I had none the last time I was here.
Yeah, it was like shaved, or was it gone?
Bald head last time.
Well, what happened?
Well, I grew it back.
Uh-huh. But did you know it would come back?
I hoped it would come back.
Right.
But actually, it did take some work. There's a product called REGENEX.
Uh-huh.
I was losing my hair
right.
before I went bald. Because I shaved it.
Yeah.
And I got this stuff, and you rub it. Manual labor. You actually break a sweat about 20 minutes a day. And my hairline's better than it was when I was 18. Now they came back. So.
Wow, congratulations. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Since then, there really hasn't been much talk about it. So, frankly, I don't know if it's legit. But I had to send in a test where they yanked hairs, where I yanked hairs out of my right and left temples, my vortex, my crown, and then I sent it in the mail to them. And about a week later, I heard back from them. They sent me a photo of my strands under a microscope, which I'm going to present to you. You can see the rightmost strand is in the worst shape. And then on top of it, there is this goop, basically, and they told me that's the biggest problem, and that it probably is a result of DHT, as well as having used poor shampoos like Pantene Pro V, which is the one I used most of my life, especially my adult life, when I was paying for my own stuff. I mean, that one at Costco, it's massive, and it was like $7.49. So who can pass that up, you know? I wasn't even using conditioners. I had no idea what it was for. I thought it was for split ends. I don't care about split ends. I care about my hair being on top of my head, you know? And I think in the next year, it's going to be gone. I'm going to have the Bozo the Clown wraparound. That's what I feel like I'm going to be looking at. So it's supposed to arrive tomorrow. Subscribe, and I'm going to be showing you what the process is like for me. And so what they're telling me, the Regenexx people are telling me, is that there's a 3-step process. And so the first step takes 1 month. And even just that 1 month is $180. And if you're going to ship it, which I am, it's another $20. So the first step is the local. This one will eliminate inactive skin cell buildup on the scalp, emulsify buildup sebum in the follicle entrances, normalize excessive dry or oily scalp conditions, increase blood circulation to the scalp, improve overall health by scalp encouraging a cell-by-cell exfoliation of dead skin. So that's 1 month of using that. Then the second process is actually 3 to 6 months, depending on how my hair, how badly my hair needs it. I'm not sure. And they say that's the structural stage. That's when they move debris from inside the follicle below the scalp. It further penetrates the follicle to emulsify the buildup of debris at the root. It uses oxidized 5-alpha reductase. Oh, actually, I think that is 5-AR, which there was this famous video about this scam artist who was selling everybody a book for $39.99, saying that basically if you go to Whole Foods and you buy nuts, you can stop you can get 5-AR and eliminate DHT. So this has that. So I take that for 3 to 6 months, and during this time I'm not actually gaining anything, which is really frustrating because currently I'm not happy with how I am. I'm not. I don't want to go outside. And if they've told me that I won't continue to lose more during this process, I'll at least slow it down, I guess. But really, I need more quick. And so I've been thinking about international medical tourism to Thailand specifically. You know, you go there with like $5,000 and you can get a hair transplant. Here it's going to cost you about, the same transplant's going to cost you about $10,000. So, but I don't know, that might be in the future. And then there's stage 3. This one is the developmental stage. And it could take as many as 20 months. And this is where they actually thicken the strands that you have left. So it doesn't actually regrow anything. You need to be clear about that. The way they'll talk to you, and I've talked to them on the phone, they make it sound like, okay, if you've only lost around 15%, then you're an ideal candidate, as they've told me I am. Now, I would love to know who's not an ideal candidate. In fact, I asked them, and they told me that basically if you're already bald, they're not going to take you. They want to have a 100% success rate. And I don't know if I will be success story, because if all they're going to do is allow me to keep what I already have, I'm not going to be satisfied, because I need more. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing in these videos, as I said, is opening up the product, putting it in my hair, showing you how it works, and hopefully showing you that it does work. We'll see. Regenexx. It's costing a ton of money. They say the full program I finally got, because the cost was very ambiguous, and I finally got them to come up with a number for me. The full program, if you do it for the length of, it's $3,300, which is more than half the price of going to Thailand, you know? And they fix the problem. We have to know about what I've learned about hair loss is there is technically a quote-unquote cure, and it's a hair transplant. That's it. Everything else, the saw palmetto, the 5-AR, it's all just smoke and mirrors. And the best example of smoke and mirrors is when they start showing you these photos of their heads. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you legitimate photos. Photos that I took after showers and under direct light. You can see a photo of me here. This was 2 years ago. This is my headshot. Maybe it was a little more than 2 years ago. It might have been 2.5. But you can't see any noticeable hair loss there. But that photo was in the fog. Here's a photo of me I think less than a month ago in direct sunlight. There's a difference, isn't there? And the way that they take their photos makes a big difference. Just under these lights, these are intense lights used for casting sessions for actors. You might be able to see it under this one. I can see my scalp in a mirror underneath a halogen light. So, depending on what kind of photos are taken, it may look like there are gains. But everyone that you're going to talk to about hair loss, outside of forums, outside of me, and other YouTubers, they're trying to take advantage of the fact that you're desperate and sad. It's that simple. There's no cure for hair loss except for a hair transplant. And this Regenix company itself has told me that people who are getting hair transplants will actually use it along with using the Regenix products, because it does actually clean the scalp. And it does, in that respect, it does seem like it's a good product. But with $3,300 already that my parents are investing for me, I still seem like I'm going to need to take the plunge and eventually save up for potentially medical tourism, which is a crap shot. Could end up looking like a freaking beast. I mean, who knows where those doctors were trained? Or I could go to Beverly Hills, take a trip. It's only 800 miles, and spend $20,000. You know, it could be, because they charge by strand. In Thailand, they charge around $2 per strand. What they're doing is literally removing the good hairs, the ones in the back, which are impervious to hair loss, putting them on top. And it costs around $2 per strand in Thailand. In California, it's around $9 per strand. So, even with the ticket, even with staying at an Airbnb, you're going to end up spending, let's say you have a transplant of $1,000, you're going to end up spending about $6,000 less in Thailand. Yeah. So it's something to think about. Anyway, subscribe and you'll see what Regenexx does. Good luck, everybody, and take care.